What's up, family? What's going on? What's going on? Y'all, y'all know I had to talk about it. I haven't talked all weekend. But I'm here now. Y'all, this whole situation is getting more and more and more and then more interesting. Um, Biden ultimately has thank you so much. Thank you so much for your super chat, Diana. Thank you. $10 super chat. Y'all, this is gonna be this right here. This decision that Biden made is changing the whole game. It's changing the whole game because right now the Democrats are in a situation where they don't have enough time to campaign. They don't have enough time to campaign. They got what three? What's today's date? Today is July 21st. July 21st. So they have. Let's see. I'm really just count July over because we almost done with July. So I'm gonna count just August. They have September, October, and then they really just got 2 months. They got 2 months. Um, and what's interesting, they're now wanting to pull Kamala on the ticket, but Democrats don't even want Kamala on the ticket. They don't want her on the ticket. I mean, most of us knew. We knew day one when Biden came in. They wasn't gonna. We thought he wasn't gonna make it through the whole race. We really thought he was not gonna make it until the end of his presidency because he already showed signs of I don't want to say what he had, but he sounded like he was not very capable at that time. You remember when he was walking up those steps in the air, going into Air Force One, he tripped and fell, and everybody's like, "Did he trip on air?" Y'all remember that? So everybody has always said that they would be shocked if he made it because of the things that we saw at his age. He walked in at 77. I think he was 77, and now he's what 81. I think he's 81 or 82. So we knew this was coming. But the biggest thing is instead of the Democrats getting prepared and accepting the fact that Biden is not capable of fulfilling his duties, they kept putting money into it, kept putting energy into it. They want Biden so bad. Biden about to take every single that we about to go to war fooling with Biden. Let me get my headphones real quick. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Here I come, y'all. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, so the whole thing, y'all, it really is. The, I got a feeling. I have a feeling that the Republicans know that they're going to win because of the simple fact of the so much division when dealing with the Democratic Party. I don't want neither one. I'm not. I'm not a one to agree with neither side because neither one of the sides have talked about anything dealing with reparation for my people. So no. Don't kick the troll out. Let them troll. Long as they ain't too crazy. If some Trump supporters in here, I don't care. But with that being said, neither one of them have talked about reparation. So I have no regard for either. And be brutally honest. Ain't nobody had no regard for either. There's never been a conversation piece. Democrats never cared to talk about it. We really haven't had foundational Black Americans as presidents because we got to realize that Obama was not a foundational Black American and Kamala wasn't foundational Black American, meaning they were American born, African descendant of slaves within America. They're never a part of that. and they will never understand our cause, and nor will they support it. So that's where we got to realize that when they put black faces in mainstream, it's almost a concerted effort to make sure that they are not foundational black Americans, what we consider to be descendants of American slaves. They have never done that. Again, we got to be honest. Obama gooped us a little bit, tricked us, and we was like, "Oh, we got a black person," and didn't realize he wasn't foundational black. And so is not Kamala, because Kamala, I think, father is Jamaican or Caribbean, and mother is Indian, so she's not. So the agenda for our people will never be a conversation piece, a piece with them, and well, that's where we got to be honest. So they gooped us with that. So, with that being said, these folks are in Democrats are in a shaky situation, very shaky. This is why I keep saying this presidential race is going to be very interesting. Let's say that the Democrats find a way, because I was looking at this, y'all. Let me show y'all something. Um, Let me see. I was looking at a website, y'all, and it goes into what was the site called? I think it was called. Oh, I can't find it. Shoot. Hold on, y'all. Here's a website. I think it is. Uh, oh, hold on. Let me look at my other laptop. I got it on my other laptop. Hold on. I'm looking for the website, and I'm gonna show y'all something. We're gonna look at a map, and I've been looking at this map. And when I show y'all this map, it's gonna flip y'all wig. Just hold on. I gotta go to my other laptop because I was looking at it on my other one. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. While I do that, I'm gonna play a little music for y'all. I'm gonna do that. Stay on, but I'm finna show y'all a map, and the map finna blow y'all mind. Found it, couldn't find it. Where y'all at? Where my people at? Come on in here. So let me go look at my comments. I'm showing y'all, I'm gonna show y'all what they trying to fight against. Let me share my screen. I go to this site, fair use. This is what they're fighting against. You see and the website is called 270towin.com. So this is a website to kind of give you a viewpoint of how each election looked from a electoral college standpoint, meaning what states are going to vote for the president to go either Republican or Democrat. So this is just a map, or I guess an estimate, because we haven't gotten there yet. So it says that it will take 270 electoral votes to win the presidential race. Click the state on the interactive map to create your own 2000. It's like a forecast. But also with this, it gives you historical data. Now, I haven't touched this map, but it shows you right now where possibly these countries these states can land. Hold on. An advertisement I don't want. Close. Thank you. So, y'all see this? This is projected, possibly, how this could look. Y'all see that? Y'all see why they worried? So, this is what they're fighting against. And these two right now are still unknown. But these two can change the whole race, meaning, and this isn't one that you would consider to be 100% But this is what they consider to be safe, likely, or leans. So if you're red, they're safe. They pretty much know Tennessee is going to go Republican. They know Kentucky is going to go Republican. South Carolina is definitely going to go Republican. All these states are pretty much always going to go Republican, wherever it lay. Because if you look deeper, because it goes into, where is it, where you can see each presidential historical elections. So we look at 2020. These are traditionally, this is 2020 election, last one. These traditional states are pretty much, they know, going to go Republican. Let's look at another one. Look at the other ones. Let's look at the other ones. So, just based off of the polls from each year, these, you see, these are traditionally the ones that are pretty much red, are traditionally the ones that will go Republican. Um, so back to this. This is why these are considered red. Historically, these are going to be the Republican um, states. It's really going to swing Republican. Um, these are the ones, y'all notice, are the game changer. They said typically they lean. These are the likelies. These are the likelies. This is likely gonna go Republican, which is Texas. We know pretty much Texas is gonna go. South Georgia, it typically does go Republican. If you saw the last one in the north, so they're saying likely this is how it's gonna look. These two right here are the ones that always end up being the last ones to the race. They always the last ones that they fighting for. Because typically, like I said, if you look here, when I was looking at this a couple of days ago, I was like, this is what the concern. If you look, and I ain't gonna go to the picture, Texas is always red. Texas is always red. Texas is always red. Their concern is if there's a situation like 2008 and 2012, where this and this goes blue. This right here usually goes blue. So they wanted to go blue. But if they flip the script and decide to go red, like here, if they go red, game changer. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. That's why there's a concern there. That's why they're concerned right now. These folks getting ready to fight. I'm talking about they finna fight like never before. Because right here, you notice Ohio went 18, Florida 29, Texas 36. These are the states that change the whole game. Texas, Florida, Ohio tends to change it, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is another one that, and they really, like some states you're gonna know that's gonna go blue. Like California gonna always go blue. They're gonna go blue regardless. Sometimes the Republicans don't look at even California because it's so liberal and they're gonna swing blue. They really don't focus. They focus on these because they know it's a chance that possibly we can get them to swing blue or we can get them to swing red. And that's the biggest concern. That's the hot item right now. And him stepping down, they really getting ready to, let me go back. They might as well count this gone, possibly. Count this gone. You already know this finna go. They're already there. They might as well just make that full red. Florida is gonna go Republican. I already got a feeling the way things are going. Georgia and all of them, the North Carolina Georgias are pink. This one is Ohio, they don't know. But these two right here, let's say I didn't mean to do that. Okay, that's what it was at first. If they go that route, man, It's really interesting. So I would say, for the sake of when y'all watching, if we make it to that point, y'all, look at that and look how the numbers can shift. Look how the numbers can shift. So I think so too. I think Ohio is gonna go red if we make it to it. Um, I know some of y'all saying, why are we even talking about this? Hey, we're here. We might as well just look and see how this game is played. Um, it's gonna go red. I'm gonna be honest. These right here, Ohio is gonna go red. Let's say Ohio goes red, Florida goes red, Texas goes red. I had a place where you could see the simulation of how it looks. They're gonna win. They're gonna win ultimately. If Texas and Florida and Pennsylvania and Ohio go, they're concerned about this. Let's say this goes red. Republicans win. If it goes blue, 145. This is why they're concerned. Let's say Texas. We know Texas ain't gonna go blue. It pulls that, but they know Texas is not gonna go blue. They know Texas is gonna lean more towards red. This the one right here. You see how Pennsylvania, how Ohio can change all the numbers. Let's say Pennsylvania goes red. And let's say Ohio goes blue. Republicans still gonna lose. I mean, the Democrats still gonna lose. You see, Republicans want Pennsylvania is a game changer. Florida, they might as well count that a go on that one. So, oh yes, Republicans is definitely gonna go red. Texas is definitely gonna go red. Florida is definitely gonna go red. And I know people are like, why are we talking about this? Because it's interesting. You know, as long as we're in Egypt, you might as well pay attention to what's going on around you, so you can understand how the game is played. Game is played. Ultimately, you know, the Most High, He gonna change the game, and everything is just gonna be bam. Everything's gonna change. But it's good to look at things like this so you can be aware, and understand the dynamics of how this works. So this is why the Democrats are thoroughly concerned right now. The race is too close. This is why they're saying it's too close. Because you still have Ohio, you still have Pennsylvania, you still have Texas, and you still have Florida. Those four can change everything. Everything can change with them. They already know Texas is a no-go. They already know Florida is a no-go. And they already know, Pennsylvania is a no-go. Philadelphia, will go blue, but the rest of Pennsylvania is possibly going to go to red, just like with Tennessee. Memphis is going to go blue, but the rest of Tennessee overall is going to go red. But this is going to be interesting. And Democrats are very worried right now. And I'm going to play one for you. And it's always our fault. It's always got to be our people that be the ones that fall for it. So I'm going to play this for y'all, and we'll talk about it.
Conversations between President Biden and Vice President Harris. I want to go back to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez, who is new reporting about conversations between President Biden and Vice President Harris. I want to go back to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez, who is covering all of this from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Priscilla, what are you learning?
Caitlin, I'm told by a source that President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris spoke today. It's unclear exactly at what time they spoke. Remember, the president put out his letter publicly that he would not seek re-election earlier this afternoon. But the president made clear after that letter that he was putting all of his support behind Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee, and also calling on the party to come together. Now, the vice president was on the trail yesterday. She was at a fundraiser in Massachusetts, where, again, she was defending the administration's record and also trying to underscore the stakes of the election. It was a fundraiser that brought in more than $2 million. today, however, she was back in Washington, D.C. at her residence and with her staff. So this latest reporting is that the president and the vice president have spoken. That, according to a source who I spoke with, we're still trying to get more information as to what that conversation looked like and when exactly it happened, but significant all the same.
Yeah, of course, and also fascinating to learn about these conversations that he was having. Obviously, you expect him to speak with the vice president about this. Priscilla, keep us updated on what you're learning about this. We also have Van Jones joining us. He is CNN's senior political commentator and a former Obama administration official. And Van, obviously, you and I were talking a lot about this dynamic and how this was ultimately going to play out when we were covering the Republican convention in Milwaukee last week. And with this news, this entire campaign has just upended itself.
My name is Lucy, and I have to figure out who.
Yeah, there's a lot of political stuff. The Democratic Party is a family. At the end of the day, this is a family matter. You know, Joe Biden's body may not be as strong as it used to be. His language skills may not be as sharp as it used to be. His heart is as big as ever. His heart is as big and as true and as strong. And this is the difference between a politician and a leader. He made a selfless decision, and people are heartbroken. Even people who are pushing for this to happen. It's kind of like when your grandpa, you got to take the keys, and everybody, you got to take his keys, you got to take his keys, you got to, and he's fighting and everybody's so frustrated, and then you finally get the keys back, and then you just cry. Because this is somebody that you love. This is somebody that you care about. This is somebody who was there for you. This is somebody you wouldn't be here without him. And you have to
Butter biscuits all around. Y'all know I can't stand Van. Oh, I can't stand Van. Ooh, he withers my nerves. And he from Memphis too, y'all. Oh, he from Memphis, and he cringy. Very cringy. He get them extra butter biscuits for crying. Oh my gosh. That just bothers. Oh, but let's keep going, y'all. Let's endure this. Endure. Y'all share this with other people, because I want to. Yeah, he getting ready to start the waterworks, honey. He finna cry. He finna cry my river right now. Yeah, he finna cry. He always cry. He a cry baby. So we finna keep it going.
to take something from him. Now, this is not, look, this politics is politics, but this is a human moment for one of the great humans in America. This is a huge moment for him, for his family, for all of us who love him, for all of us who wanted him to get across the finish line. But if you're a young person watching this is leadership. This is patriotism. This is what it means to put the country first, and put the party first, and put the cause first. When your arm gets tired, you let somebody else finish pitching the game. That's what Joe Biden has done, and he's done that for all of us. And so I just want to say, I don't know who's going to be the VP, the non-VP. I don't know anything about politics. I just know that I love this man. I care about this man. It was painful every day to sit up here and talk about him like he's just some problem for the party. Wait till we get to the convention. You're going to see people crying, standing, screaming, cheering. He may not get a chance to talk for 10 minutes. We finally get a chance to put our arm around this guy. He did the right thing for this country. He did the right thing for this party. All of us are going to be in this situation someday. And I hope that we take a moment to honor this man and to love this man. I love Joe Biden. I appreciate what he's done. And a lot of people are heartbroken today. Even if it's the right thing, it's still just horrible.
The boule is finna come out swinging. Boule, I call them that. Y'all know I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but they went and got their boule and gathered them up. That's the elite of the black people. And they finna go and they finna speak and cry and get more butter biscuits. Understand these people, they call them Jack and Jills. Jack and Jills. My daughter told me this. Jack and Jills of the community. If you know anything about Jack and Jill, it's a I think it's called Jack and Jill. I think it's a society amongst black people where the upper class black people create their own system. We're gonna talk about that too. I do want to talk about that. Let me see. It is a foundation. Jack and Jill is America is a leadership organization formed during the Great Depression African Americans' mothers founded it in 1938. The intent to bring kids together in a social and cultural setting. So ultimately, the elites of the Black community, the Jack and Jills, baby, finna get together and say, how are we gonna get out this hole? Because we need our boss to get in so we can get our checks. Because we know we ain't getting our checks. Understand our people that's a part of this upper echelon of Black community, man, they worse than the slave master. And they want their checks. They want their biscuits. They getting what they want. These the ones that's fighting. That's the one of the ADOS that's fighting against reparation because they don't want us to be on the same level as them. So I ain't going to talk about that right now. But yet and still, they finna go and get all the Black elites, honey, and they finna cry me a river. Cry me a river. Oh, y'all get ready for the waterworks. I gotta watch it when it come on. If we make it to that point, the way things are going. Oh, wait. Somebody said, absolutely not, my sister. You are correct. Oh, yeah. They're going to cry a river, honey. Let's continue on.
Well, and Van, I mean, on that point, which is a great point that I think resonates with a lot of people of the personal nature of a decision like this. We often talk about things in a harsh political lens of who's going to fare better, what this looks like. I mean, I also have to imagine what it's been like the last 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks since that debate, to see, you know, what the reporting has been behind the scenes of Democrats who wanted him to get out on Friday.
This is the same Van Jones that does not agree with reparation to foundational Black Americans. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, this is why the Most High is taking the scales off of our eyes and seeing who are the Judases amongst us, and that's a Judas. All these Black faces that standing before the people crying and getting their butter biscuits, understand they don't want to see reparation be a conversation piece, and because of that, they get paid. They get paid. That's even on the Republican side. They all have the same agenda. They all have the same, and the 1% of the Black community, they're a part of that agenda too as well. They don't want to see Black people get anywhere. They don't want to see us move up. They don't want to see us get a reparation, and they're being paid well. So these Jack and Jills and these coons and these butter biscuit eaters are going to be up and running because the butter biscuit eaters on the Republican side, I ain't going to forget about them. We got the I forgot the guy's name, the two Black guys. I think isn't it Tim Scott? Tim Scott was fighting to be, they wanted to be vice president. They wanted to Trump. Trump we ain't finna let no ninjas be no vice president. They would rather choose a white man that is married to an immigrant to be Trump's vice president than a Black person that's foundational Black American to be the vice president. Because if you look at it, JD Vance's wife is not an American-born citizen. I think she's not. Her family came from India, and that's why they about to have a fit about that. But Republicans now trying to keep that low. Like, let's not make that a conversation piece right now, y'all. So understand this is a game, but let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Friday night, the reporting was that he was seething over, you know, seeing big allies of Pelosi come out and calling him to get out, even upset to a degree with his former running mate, President Obama. And just to see, you know, what he personally has witnessed and these calls from his longtime allies, people who certainly praise his legacy, but said, you know, it's time for this decision to be made.
But have we all gone through this with our own family members? Like, yeah, he's hurt, he's pissed. A lot of us wouldn't have careers. I wouldn't have a career without Joe Biden. Joe Biden picked me out of the puppy pile. He's the person that everybody says you work for Barack Obama. No, I worked for Joe Biden when I was in the administration. I was on his middle class task force. You know, all of us have known that embrace. All of us have gotten those.
You heard him say he picked me out of the puppy litter. I'm not nobody's dog. Let's let that be known. He picked me out of the puppy litter. Do you hear what you just said? Fair use, y'all. Fair use. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. He said he picked him out of the puppy pile. You called yourself a puppy. On the middle class task force. Ooh, we. Oh, fair use, fair use.
Phone calls and those cards with bad things have happened to us. So, that's a family. That's what it is. He's hurt now. He feels let down. He feels that his friends turned on him. In the fullness of time, he'll recognize that it was done out of love and as loving a way as possible. But at the end of the day, some people, and I don't want to mention any names and ruin this day, but some people will back their leader no matter what. Some people, they don't care how many people this man has hurt and how many laws he's broken, no matter how many bad things he's done. That's our leader. We're going to back him no matter what. But this party is not like that. This is not a cult. This is a political organization. And we believe in these principles. And if somebody is sick, if somebody can't do it, there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with that. If somebody can't do it, that's okay. And what you see with a Joe Biden, yeah, everything was falling apart around him, but he could have stuck it out. There were people in this party who wanted him to stick it out. There are people in this party right now who are mad that he didn't stick it out. Don't act like it was all on one side. It wasn't about the donors. It was about, could this man hold together all of us anymore? And when he realized he couldn't, he did the right thing and he passed the baton. That is leadership. Pelosi did the same thing with Hakeem Jeffries. That's leadership. That's responsibility. That's what America's supposed to be about. I love Joe Biden. You have people on both sides of the fight in the party who are crying right now, who can't believe it right now. This is not a normal time, y'all. This isn't just politics. This is a moment in time to honor someone who for 50 years put this country first and sacrificed and sacrificed and sacrificed and sacrificed and sacrificed. And today he's sacrificed again. That's Joe Biden. I love Joe Biden. This country should get around Joe Biden and help our president through these last few months.
I think it's a great idea. House sitters get somewhere to stay.
Jamal Simmons, you worked in that administration as well. I wonder what you make of how Van just laid out what a personal decision this was for President Biden to make after facing these calls for 3 weeks now, sustained calls from his own party. And obviously, you worked with him, you worked with Vice President Harris. I wonder what you make of that.
Yeah, listen, as I started out, it's a very sad day. I have heard both Vance sentiments and feel them, right? I mean, there's nothing I found after the assassination attempt last Saturday, when Joe Biden went on television to tell us what was happening. I know people had different feelings. I felt a little easier about it, right? Knowing that Joe Biden was in charge, because here's somebody who was going to be willing to put the American public first and not just his own political needs, not just do what he thought was best for him. And listen, we can try to make this not about politics, and Van, I'm with you. This is a day for Joe Biden. But on the other side of this coin is a guy who is the antithesis of Joe Biden, right? Who's completely about, Donald Trump, completely about putting himself first. So I think as we think about President Biden, all of us who know him and those of us who work for him, like Van, really feel an incredible sense of loss. At the same time, this is going to help the Democratic Party finish Joe Biden's job, which is the point of what it was he was running for, which is to keep Donald Trump out of the office and to make America a better place that includes more people and has more opportunity for people. And I think that Kamala Harris is going to do a good job doing that. Let me just say this about her. I worked with her every single day. I met with her every single day. I talked to her on the phone just about every single day when I was there. This is a woman who has great public values. She knows what she's in the game fighting for. She's fighting for people who are being left behind, people who are being left out. She's been a prosecutor her whole life. I think that she is uniquely built for a moment. We've got a candidate who's got 34, felony convictions to go out and prosecute him every day. She's somebody who I think has an incredible ability to go out and inspire people and to get them excited about her. I remember seeing little girls. One of the reasons I went to work for the vice president was because I have a daughter. And I remember thinking that I wanted my daughter to have the same kind of model for her life that my son has when he thinks about Barack Obama. And I remember seeing little girls grab her by the hand and look at her like she's Superwoman, like she's Wonder Woman. I remember seeing older women who many of them didn't agree with her politically. They grab her by the hand and they have tears in their eyes and they'd say, "I never thought I'd see the day that a woman would serve in the White House." Those are the kinds of cases that I think as we go forward in this, what will become the next political campaign.
You see, they kept referencing a woman. They ain't gonna ever say black, because when you really look at it, Kamala has the ability to be a chameleon. She wants to be black when it's beneficial to her to get black votes, but then she'll flip over and say I'm Indian. So, but you notice he ain't saying black, but she's actually half Jamaican and and half Indian.
I think we will see the kind of energy that and emotion that we're talking about today. We'll see those out of a lot of Americans.
Now, where I'm about to go with this, and let me read this real quick before I have problems, because I started writing. So, disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, new reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So I want to say that real quick. Okay, so where we are now in the race is they don't even want Kamala. Kamala's a problem. She too ethnic. But yeah, I'm gonna play this for you. They finna come out swinging.
When I think about the case in terms of supporting a Joe Biden presidency or being okay with Joe Biden continuing to be the nominee, I'm looking at a watch, and I'm looking at a clock, and I'm looking at a calendar. And I think that if personally, people want to have this conversation 6 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago, it's a very different landscape of logistics. Every single person, I shouldn't say every single person, I'm going to say in this class of people that you see coming out now, right? If you're an everyday person that has this opinion, I'm not coming for you. But this whole class of people who are coming with this other opinion now have supported the president the entire time. And many of those people are the same people who closed ranks around anybody who even wanted to raise this conversation a year ago. Fine. But we need to me, like, I'm looking at a lot of different things. And I want to communicate some things, even if you don't, particularly the case for even if you don't support the president continuing as the nominee on substance, merits, policy, etc. Let's take that aside, right? What day is it right now? What, July 17th? I've been working like a bunch. So I think today is July 17th. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments if it's not. But the point is, even when this conversation was like really kicking up, July 13th, I think people need to understand the reality and the gravity of what these people are proposing. And I'm not saying this is all a reason not to do it, but I do think that people are talking about this without having two eyes wide open as to what this really means. The Democratic Convention is in, 4 weeks or so? The state of Ohio has legal ballot access issues that require a name to be enrolled and certified on their ballot even before the convention.
Y'all notice, pay attention. Ohio is coming up. Ohio is going to be the problem. And they're building the case. It's going to be a war for this presidency. They're already building the case that Ohio is saying you got to be certified before the Democratic convention. That's the reason why they needed, Joe, we need you to hurry up and make a decision. You need to be off the ballot because Ohio is a game changer. How many times have we seen an election flip because of Ohio? Numerous times. It's either Ohio and then or either Florida with Gore. So an example is Gore.
And that's not because of Democrats. That's because of Republicans. And to people, there are some people that quibble and they say, oh, well, that's not really true because they actually passed this other law that allows the deadline to change. That law that allowed that deadline to quote unquote change also gets enacted and enrolled something like 60 or 90 days after passage, which now puts us in a legal gray zone. So whether you think it's above board or whether you don't think it's above board, I can tell you that it is guaranteed, and it is virtually guaranteed, and it has been confirmed by the Republican Speaker of the House that Republicans are already preparing legal challenges to any name change on the ballot that may happen, occur, arise, or be possible. And so for us, I want us to, like, opening this conversation, I think it's important for us to consider the stakes, okay? Before you even get into the merits, talk about the stakes. If this is even something that can be opened, right? And what we know is that we can virtually guarantee, Mike Johnson came out and said that they're absolutely preparing legal challenges to wherever it's possible. And I want to tell you, those legal challenges are most viable where? In the same handful of swing seats that are needed to win the presidency. I'm not saying every single one is counted out, but I am saying that's what's at the table. And guess what? Republicans, they mount that legal challenge. The possibility of our elections being.
So right now, what they're saying, and y'all tell me if I'm reading it wrong. Literally, what they're saying is Ohio saying you can't change their name on the ballot. Y'all done missed y'all's deadline. And if they change the name on the ballot from Biden to Kamala Harris, it's getting ready to be a fight. Are y'all getting it? Ultimately, what they're saying is, y'all done made a decision because she said 90 days before. 90 days before. So, let's see. So, let's say September, October. Yeah, they done missed their deadline if they 90 days before. Is that what y'all getting? They saying you can't change it. There are rules within Ohio, I think, and I got to look at it because I'm not quite sure. I got to do my research. That Ohio is a problem right now already. And you notice they saying the swing states. When they say swing states, these are the states that can make or break an election. Can make it break. Ohio is one of them. Texas, well, not really Ohio. Texas is going to always pretty much be Republican. The Ohio and Florida are those two. So they already worried that these are swing states. So it's not quite 90 days. So when is the general election? Hold on. General election 2024. They're scheduled for November 5th. So they needed to do this. So they said July, September. Let me see. So it's July, August, September, October, November. So they do have time because let's count out. Let's count out July because July is a loss. So September, October, November. They kind of got that whole. Okay, I get what you're saying. So first week of November, November 5th. So let me see. Ohio. Where is it? Ohio ballot change. So yeah, they still got a little bit of time. They do. Do you really think they have? I don't think they have enough time. Even if because I'm looking at October, November, they still, yeah, they still got enough. I think they still have enough time. They still got enough time, but they getting ready to make a case. They finna fight this, and they're scared right now. So here we go.
Being decided by a Supreme Court ruling, skyrocket. Okay. I'm not here to use fear. I'm not saying this to use fear to dissuade people out of their position. But I need us to understand the stakes, okay? And that's point number one. Like, I can tell you that I have been, and I want to tell you also why I'm telling you this, is because the last 2 or 3 weeks of members of Congress or quote unquote Democratic sources or what have you going on backgrounds and, oh, how did a filter get on here? Oh my God.
The all-new GoDaddy Aero helps you get your business online in minutes with the power.
Okay, I think I turned off. Sorry, guys. The possibility, and okay, sorry. So what's really upset me is that these conversations, I believe in transparency. At the same time, litigating like huge conversations among people of power in public can dramatically hurt our chances, depending on the outcome of that conversation. And so sometimes certain conversations are best held in private, especially if there's ambiguity or a lack of decision on it. And so what I see right now, and I want you all to know, is that over the last several weeks, there have been lots of Democrats who have been giving little anonymous quotes to the press, to some journalists to print. And I'm not here to knock the press on it. I'm here to knock my colleagues on it. Because to me, I think that's, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it because it's after midnight, that's bullshit. Like, if you have an opinion, say it with your chest and say it in public. But the idea that you are an elected official and you are supposed to be responsible for a community and you're just going to like text some journalist on the low and say, this is what I think, but don't put my name next to it. What are you here to do? If that's your opinion and if that's what you think is best for the country, put your name on it, okay? But instead, it's all this little pick a little, talk a little to whatever, texting some pundit about what they think because they're too cowardly to like come out with a public opinion. I'm not coming for the people who have made a public statement and put their name on it. Like, Lord knows I've done plenty of that myself. I'm talking about people who are too scared to say what they want to say in public, but somehow not afraid to say what they want to say to a journalist so long as they promise not to use their name. That's a bunch of horse shit. And then there was recently a quote unquote senior Democratic leader that said, oh, I'm just resigning myself to a Trump victory. Leave your seat.
These saints is fighting. I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all? I said they finna be fighting in the middle of the floor. You can see it right now. Look, she cussing it. She mad, baby. She cussing mad. Cause they all she giving us the Democrat tea right now. She mad right now, real mad. And she's saying they slick going to the side and saying pretty much Trump finna win. Y'all, I might do a live on the day of the on November 5th and day after part. I may take some days off so that I can just stream all day. And I just invite people up just so we can talk. Baby, when I tell you, whoo, she mad. She mad because she said they slick with it. They going and they not necessarily saying that they saying that, yep, just like Rome, they start turning on each other. But they saying, well, we don't agree with Kamala, but don't put my name on it. Oh, Trump gonna win, but don't put my name on it. Baby, they fighting. They fighting. Rio, they fighting. Rio barking or something. Let me continue on. Yeah, Eric, this finna be so hilarious. This is finna be hilarious.
Leave. Just leave. Like, that is so garbage. That is such a fundamental lack of leadership. And I don't care what party you're from, like, just leave. Like, just go work for a lobbyist. Go cash in on Wall Street if that's what you feel. Like, why keep that seat warm? This job is hard. It takes a lot of effort. You're resigning yourself to losing. Why don't you just turn in your keys early and give it to someone who gives a damn? Anyways, moving on. Number one is the legal viability. Number two, I don't think people understand what it takes in terms of running a presidential campaign. And I'm going to say what a lot of these folks aren't saying. I'm just going to say it. If you think that there is consensus among the people who want Joe Biden to leave, that they will support Kamala, Vice President Harris, you would be mistaken. And I'm going to say that because if they're going to come out and say all their little things on background off the record, but they're not going to be fully honest, I'm going to be honest for them. I'm in these rooms. I see what they say in conversations. A lot of them are not just interested in removing the president. They are interested in removing the whole ticket. Am I here to guarantee that that is what is going to happen, or that is what will happen? I can't tell you that, because as we all know, politics is insane. Anyone who tells you 100% what's going to happen is lying to you or engaged in an enormous amount of hubris. I'm not here to tell you that if Joe Biden is the nominee, he's definitely going to win. But because I don't think if anybody is the nominee, we're definitely going to win. Okay? And I understand where we want to talk about hedging bets, but I do want you to know what gets uncorked. Because if you think that's going to be an easy transition, I'm here to tell you that a huge amount of the donor class and a huge amount of these elites and a huge amount of these folks in these rooms that I see that are pushing for President Biden to not be the nominee also are not interested in seeing the vice president being the nominee. Will they win out on that? I don't know. But I am here to tell you, do not take that for granted. Do not take that outcome for granted. It may make sense to you. It may be sorry guys, I don't know why this keeps happening. It may make sense to you. It may be the logical thing, but I'm here to tell you that that is not a sure thing. And so what is the it is still a possibility, right? Let's look at our open possibilities, right? And by the way,
yeah, this is real interesting. This is real interesting. This is interesting. So I'm gonna play something. Let me get past the commercials. It's just 3 minutes long. Fair use, fair use. Oh, thank you, Ruhama. Thank you. I see your message. Thank you. Yeah, support me. I'm just joking. Y'all, please share this link because lately I've been getting messages from people, a ton of people, that they are not getting notifications. And you know, once you come off of a 30-day lockdown, they tend to mess with things like notifications. So y'all share it. Make sure people know that I'm doing this. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of people telling me they're not getting their in fact, a family member said they're not getting notifications anymore. So you know they play games with that. YouTube does. So moving on to this, it says that political kryptonite. Kamala Harris is not the most popular candidate for the Democrats. I'm going to play this fair use.
From afar as an observer, I just think politically, if Joe Biden steps down, there's no way they can't choose Kamala Harris politically, right? Do you agree? Or can they get around that? Because, you know, they will isolate a huge section of the Democrat Party if they turn their back on her.
I don't necessarily think it has to be Vice President Kamala Harris. And as viewers in Australia may already be familiar with, she isn't the most popular political figure here. And yet, as you point out, obviously, there is a base of support, including a strong base of support within the Democratic Party. And a woman from consideration is just, you know, political kryptonite, especially within the Democratic Party. But at the same time, Biden has essentially created these conditions. Kamala has to go along with him. And so you may see California, Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan, Andy Beshear down in Kentucky, who start to put themselves, or their supporters start to put them forward. And I think, quite frankly, those are our strongest candidates going into November.
Brett, you teach crisis communication at university, right?
At Georgetown, you bet.
Yeah. So I'm just watching this press conference this morning with Karine Jean-Pierre, and she's still maintaining Joe Biden is good for the race. He's not going to drop out. But there's also these question marks now about changing with regards to his poor showing at the debate last Friday. First, he was crook. Now he's got jet lag, even though it was 12 days after arriving back from Europe to the United States before the debate. How do you think the White House is handling this crisis?
Well, you mentioned before, you're a parent, I'm a parent. We're familiar with the 101 excuses that your children can make for why they didn't do their chores, why they didn't turn in their homework on time. And I think that's echoing what we are seeing from the White House and from the Biden campaign over the last several days. And, you know, it is not, to your point, effective crisis communication. You don't want to be putting forward, you know, a new rationale, a new reason every day. And quite frankly, they just need to be more transparent about this. Somebody raised at the press briefing at the White House today, why doesn't the president take the 100 steps from the Oval Office into the Brady press briefing room there at the White House and answer some questions? Instead, what we're getting are, you know, as you were just showing before, some of these formal, these very well orchestrated, prepared, teleprompter-driven conversations with the president, not an authentic exchange.
No, that's right. And he pretty much always goes off the teleprompter these days, except for that debate. And look what happened there. Good to see you.
This is going to be very interesting. This is gonna be a fight. They're gonna fight to the end on who gonna win, who gonna not win. They're in a situation where the time clock is ticking right now for them. They really don't have a candidate other than Kamala. Democrats don't have a candidate but Kamala. And they don't want Kamala because Kamala they feel like she's not a good candidate. Or what'll happen though, if they fight against Kamala, then the Democrats will look racist. They don't want to look racist, so they're really in a bad place right now. Now keep in mind, there's tensions amongst the Republicans too as well, because right now, while they're talking about tightening up immigration laws from a Republican standpoint, they're looking at a and I think even they said I think Vance, his wife is Indian, and they really pissed off about it. So the racists coming after the new vice president. Let me go right here. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Hold on, y'all. Here I come. I want to play this, but I'm very sketchy. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Here we go. Hold on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. What? I mean, fair use. Fair use.
J.D. Vance over the fact that he admitted in what is not exactly a shocking development, MAGA chuds and their racist allies attacked vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance over the fact that he had married an Indian American woman, proving once again
the Republican Party's racist.
Now, Vance is of Indian heritage, which makes a way, shape, or form to me, and shouldn't even be a consideration on anyone's mind. However, to the far right, well, they care a lot about it, and so they're going to melt down. Starting with white nationalist Nick Fuentes, who said this: "What kind of man married?"
So, let me see, because they playing with me. They playing with my channel already. I can see it. Nick. Hold on. Find another source, because, yeah, they playing games.
Why did Amazon?
We'll come back to talking about his wife, because I need to get some more information, because I'm really sketchy on showing things right now. But let's state on the facts that right now they're in a position where Trump and Vance both are married to immigrants. And I said that this morning. The only difference in the immigrant that he's married to, Trump, and the Indian lady is the fact of he is the immigrant that Trump really much gives the seal of approval on. Anything that looks European, he's good with. The less European you look, the more he's ready to throw you over the border. So everybody's concerned right now. Everybody's concerned. Breaking news: Obama does not endorse. Yeah, I'm telling y'all. Did I tell y'all? I said as I'm doing lives, things are going to be coming out. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. I want to see what this is about. Y'all up for hanging out with me for a few? Hold on. So they're saying he hasn't endorsed her yet. So we're gonna wait and see. Send me the link where it says that he does not endorse her. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, listening to this is going to be an interesting race. This is going to be interesting race. Hold on, I'm looking some up. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. I should have had it queued up. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. I played that. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use. I'm sharing this. Beef on both sides, y'all. It really is.
Cause. So let's get you that. Details on this one are stunning as well. Because here you have JD Vance, newly on the ticket, okay? He's newly on the ticket, and racists on his side are now lobbying bigoted attacks at his wife. This is who we are, and this is what we're doing. They're putting their name and face on it, too.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the views of the show.
Although many in the nationalist wing of the Republican Party have cheered the vice president nomination of Senator J.D. Vance, that story.
Fair use. Let me say that again. Fair use.
Newsweek with the details. Although many in the nationalist wing of the Republican Party have cheered the vice president nomination of Senator J.D. Vance, Republican out of Ohio. Newsweek reports some of Donald Trump's white nationalist supporters are unhappy about it. Their issue is the fact Vance's wife, Usha Vance, is the daughter of Indian immigrants. That is leading some far-right influencers to be suspicious and believe he won't really be as tough on immigration and uphold white supremacy as they hope. This picture's not going to do him much good. Nick Fuentes, you know the name, infamous neo-Nazi white supremacist who visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago along with Kanye West in November 2022, suggested on his podcast Vance would not be a defender of white identity because of his wife's Indian heritage. I want you to listen to this venom.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. Like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist. This guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity? There's a white genocide going on in the world. White people are being systematically replaced in America and Europe through immigration and to a much less.
It goes down a deeper rabbit hole. The fear of the loss of white identity. This white identity movement and he said it right here. That's the biggest fear. Losing that control. That's what's going on. And y'all, the more I look at it, I almost want to segue into that because that's going to be a whole nother conversation with itself, that what we're dealing with is extremists on both sides. There are extremists on both sides. There's racist rhetoric on the Democrat and on the Republican side. They're both the same. But the fear is the fear of black and brown people ultimately taking control. People that don't look like them. So this is why they are doing what they're doing. This is going to be interesting.
Lesser extent due to intermarrying. I don't think so. This guy's going to defend American identity. If he does, it's going to be no better than any of these other civic nationalists like Vivek Ramaswamy. How else could you countenance American identity if you have a mixed up family like that?
Nice. Great replacement.
Nick Fuentes.
You laugh at it. This is ridiculous. And that there's an appetite for it. There's actually an appetite for it. or else I wouldn't have to say his bloody name. Sick. And he's company. White nationalist, alt-right internet personality Stu Peters complained, quote, "There is an obvious Indian coup taking place in the U.S. right before our eyes." No, the coup was on January 6th, and I didn't see people who looked like Usha. I didn't, by and large. Vincent James Fox, white nationalist Trump supporter who attended the Stop the Steal rally on January 6th, said on X, JD Vance gets tapped as VP and immediately there's a Hindu prayer at the RNC. Next, we'll see Senator Mike Lee and JD Vance team up to convince Trump to let in 10 million Indian immigrants, green cards on diplomas. Jane McNeil, far-right activist and the founder of America First Students, while sharing a picture of...
So ultimately, the beef ties to make America white again. Because have you noticed they never said anything about Trump's wife? Trump's wife is not. I think this guy's. I got to look it up. JD Vance's wife. I think she comes from immigrant parents, but I don't think she's an immigrant. I think she was born here. She may not have been. Trump's wife now. What's her name? What's Trump's wife's name? I can't remember. She's been so quiet. She ain't said a word in a good little minute. Have y'all noticed she ain't said nothing? Melania Trump. She's not from here. She was born in, let's look and see, where was she born in? She was born Slovenia. She was not born in the US. She was not. She was born in Slovenia. Whereas Usha, I know I'm gonna find her. Usha Vance, where was she born? Usha Vance. Wait a minute, they ain't even showing where she was born. Going to her ancestry. She was born in the US. She was actually born in San Diego. So Usha Vance was actually born here. She comes from immigrant parents. Melania was not born here. She was born in Slovenia. I think I'm saying that. She was born there. She wasn't born in the US. Ain't nobody said anything about her. Ain't nobody said a word about her being an immigrant. It's not the fact that they were born where, it's how they look. That's the problem right now. Melania looks white and they're good with it. But Usha is too much melanin in her skin. That's why they got a problem. She was born in San Diego. Usha was born in San Diego, California, from immigrant parents. Melania Trump was born in Slovenia, which is Russia. I ain't got a problem with that at all. I think it's Russia. It's close to Russia. But yeah, she's not. So Usha is more of an American citizen than Melania. Y'all see the white supremacy going on here? I mean, I'm not an advocate for the Republicans, but you got to see the racism that's brewing and how ignorant they are. Ignorant is, I can't cuss, but ignorant. I promise you that they have the IQ of a pencil. They arguing about the fact of, she looks like an immigrant, but she was born here. But Melania was born in not the US of A. And they have yet to say anything about that. Their racism is blatant and they stupid. Stupid as hell. Excuse my language. I had to say it. There's no other word I can say right now. That's how stupid they are. Continue on.
Of the Vances with their newborn baby sarcastically wrote on X, "I'm sure this guy is going to be great on immigration." You're so basic. It's no range. None of them have any range. Okay. For the Daily Beast article entitled "Why JD Vance's Wife Usha Isn't Raring to Be Second Lady." Usha Vance, born Usha Chilukuri, was raised by Indian immigrant parents in a San Diego suburb Her mother is a biologist and now a college provost. Her father is an engineer. In high school, she was an avid trivia competitor. She played flute in the marching band. In 2013, she attended Yale Law School, where she met JD, described her hardworking, tall, and beautiful. In his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, both were mentored by Tiger Mom professor Amy Chua to encourage their relationship. Usha was a registered Democrat until 2014. She's said to have retained liberal leanings as she went on to clerk for Brett Kavanaugh when he was in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit and then for U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts. She proved to be a brilliant attorney as she went on to work for two law firms considered progressive. One of them nearly woke. This is the Daily Beast. She married Vance in 2014. They had 3 children. One a month before her Supreme Court clerkship began, and in interviews, her work colleagues have marveled at her effort to secure an.
It's time for me to get set up.
So with that being said, I just wanted, because it was going too long. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this right here is going to be an interesting race. This is going to be very interesting. I know some people don't agree with me talking about politics because people have a tendency to want to put their head in the sand and say, Yeshua's coming. We don't need to talk about this. Let just be. No, he says watch as well as pray. I've gotten emails of folks asking me, Sister, why are you talking about politics? You need to be aware of what's going on around you. Yeshua's not here. He said, occupy until I come. Part of being occupying here is understanding that what's going on around you. We can't just put our heads in the sand and play like, oh, well, we ain't going to get into politics because Yeshua's coming. That's no different than those who practice the rapture doctrine. I'm disconnected. You need to understand what's going on and be aware. So if all hell breaks loose, you can be able to understand, yeah, it's time to go. We're not in the position where the U.S. is divided. You got Democrats against Republicans, Democrats against Democrats, Republicans against Republicans, white supremacy raising its ugly head and it's saying, I ain't went nowhere, but I'm finna be even worse. Where white supremacy reared its head and said, I ain't gone nowhere. And we still here. That's what white supremacy is saying. White supremacy is saying, I'm here and I'm prevalent and now I'm finna be blatant. We're getting ready to see all-time high in white supremacy. We get ready to see it because now we have something called white nationalism that is now here, and it's under the banner of Christian nationalism or Christianity. So this rising concern is correct, and we got to talk about this because, being honest, y'all, the more we look at this and the way the cards are playing, the cards say Trump will win. You got to look at it. It's already, America's frustrated because of the financial state that we're in. White people have never been in an uncomfortable place ever in their life. That white people have never been in this place where they're broke. They don't have what we have. They don't understand. Never been this. Accesses have always been available to them. Always had access to what they wanted. That's just how the system is designed. Whereas us, we've always had access has been very limited. But we've learned how to function in a society that has limited our accesses. We've learned how to function in it. We've learned how to be able to sustain ourselves through it and not allow the system to cripple us to say, well, I can't do it. We continually moving forward. So right now, the fear of losing control is coming up and it's rearing its head. It's rearing and it's in the banner of Christianity. Guys, losing Christianity, this white colonistic mindset of Christianity is showing it for what it is. I said this, and I said this to a lot of these black Christians. It was the same white Christians that was going to church on Sunday, and then that night hanging black folks on a tree that same day in the right after Sunday service. They had picnics about it. So it's showing the true face of the faith in this country. The faith in this country is not the true Christian of the Bible. It's white supremacy. White supremacy is their faith. This country was built upon white supremacy, i.e., the slave trade. A majority of those slave traders were Christian. All of them were just about Christian. These banks, you know who owned them? Ish people own those banks that funded the boats, gave them credit to be able to buy the slaves. Everybody made money off of white supremacy. All of them made money. I mean, even go as far as even the Arabs made money in Arab slave trade. They taught them how to take the slaves. It started with the Arab slave trade. Every nation made money off of us. They're still making money off of us. So we have no side in it. We really don't. But it's good to know what's going on. But back on this boat, they brought us here the Christianity that they practice here in the States is now rearing its head and saying, this is the Christianity of this country. This is our faith. Our faith is white supremacy. White supremacy is the faith of the United States of America. If I'm wrong, show me where I'm wrong. All these countries have made money, from Arabs to the Europeans to the Ish people to the even Indians. Everybody makes money off of us. They made money because of the curses. The curses brought money to them. The curses is their moneymaker. They made money off of the curses. They made money off of the slave trade. They made money off of the addictions that ran through the community. They made money off the court systems that put us in jail. They made money off of all these things. They made money off of the trafficking. Everybody made money. And now we're beginning to see these same countries that made money fight amongst each other over us. They're fighting right now. I don't know how deep Russia was involved, but what I heard was Russia knew that we was the people and said, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We ain't finna get in that. No, they knew who we were. And they stepped back and said, no, we're not doing that. That's why people like Putin showing in the Bible, these are the people y'all got over there. That little Bible that they keep talking about, that little gold Bible that he opened up and showed the picture of the Messiah, and the Messiah looked like us. The Messiah looked like his name's supposed to be Leroy Tyrone. I'm just joking. When they opened it, they didn't like that. Again, their biggest fear is for them to wake up and the Messiah to look like us. That's their biggest fear. Their biggest fear is the Messiah looking like us. And this awakening has been their biggest fear. Their biggest fear is for us to talk about the 400-year prophecy. There is no 400-year prophecy. Are you sure of that? Are you sure? Since 2019, all hell has broken loose. From COVID to economics to the political structure to going to war, warnings of war. Not to mention the land is not at peace right now. 10 tornadoes in Chicago, I've heard. Snowing in places it ain't supposed to snow. right now. Because I think they said it was snowing. I forgot what my daughter said. It was snow somewhere. I think they said Philadelphia has some snow. And Madison told me this. Weather is tipsy-turvy. Earthquakes out of the frame right now, that they're doing a simulation in St. Louis because they're worried about this the New Madrid fault line. I think that's what, yeah. And that's the fault line that sit with St. Louis, the US. I mean, St. Louis, Memphis, and all those. They're worried right now. That's why they doing run. They like, wait a minute, something going on. All of a sudden now they worried about this major 8.4 earthquake. That's because they know that even the land is is unrest right now, fighting right now, saying, y'all, wait a minute, y'all telling me that this ain't the hand of y'all. All of this happening all at one time. He is shaking everything up. Worldwide IT system, thank you, went down. Everything just whoop, and everything went blue. When I say blue, blue screens, from banking to airlines to stores to everything just shut down. But there is no 400-year prophecy. I beg to differ. It's something going on. It might not be a 400 year, but something's going on in the land that's shaking the land right now. And they know it. They don't like the shaking. Shaking. Y'all says, I'm finna shake y'all to y'all very, but there is no purport. It's so funny to me right now. It's so funny to me right now. If you don't believe something is going on in the land, or something. This ain't just man-made. Y'all he judging something. And if it's not obvious, I feel for you. But he's now beginning to expose what is the true faith of America. What was the true faith of America? It was not the faith of the Bible. They have nothing to do with the Bible. They manipulated the Bible for their gain. They changed the Bible. They changed the Bible. Because it's a warning behind it. And they got to deal with the repercussions of that. It says that you shall not add to the word that I have commanded you, or take from it, that you may keep the commandments of the Lord. And I command, and he's telling them, do not add or take anything away from his word. I think that's in Deuteronomy. He says, do not take anything away from his word. They did that. A financial gain by saying, slaves, obey your master. Took that and flipped it and said, this is what you're supposed to do. God commanded you to obey me. And I'll take your wives and make them my concubines. Obey my Bible. I'm gonna bash your children's head on the ground, but obey my Bible. I'm gonna throw your children in the as alligator bait, but obey your master. That's what I meant. Obey your master. I'm going to create sex farms where I don't care if it's a daughter and a father having sex, but obey your master. You see how they changed it? Man, you don't think that there's some repercussions behind that? So that's what we're seeing right now, y'all. We're seeing the residues of all the things that was done. I said maybe or not. Let me see. Somebody just put something. Yep, maybe. Man. And even when they try to hide in the rocks because they're afraid of the judgment, they're not gonna be able to hide. They're gonna end up creating their own tombs and they ain't gonna be able to get out. Who's to say that they don't bomb? They go and hide in their caves and they bomb and their caves don't cave in and they can't get out. That's the Yah we serve. Like, you can't hide from his judgment. Can't hide from his judgment. We can't hide from his judgment. For real. But man, that's all I wanted. To let y'all see what's going on. We're beginning to see this. I wonder what this week gonna look like, y'all. Oh, I wonder what this week gonna look like. This week, I don't know what's gonna happen this week. I'm just sitting here like, oh, the week ain't even started yet. We're gonna start seeing more and more events happening. But last week Trump almost got shot and killed. Well, he got shot in his ear. Week before that, y'all. Ooh, it's only gonna get interesting. Something gonna happen this week. I know something gonna happen this week. I already know. I just feel it in my bones. Something happened this week, and we're gonna be out here again talking about. Yep, y'all. Guess what else happened? We haven't yet heard. I saw someone on TikTok, and I heard this guy say, "Can we get one thing good? Every time I look at the news, it's something." No, you're not. You're not getting anything good. No. It is what it is. Judgment has fallen. He gave y'all a chance to repent. Y'all didn't repent, so we're here now. We're here now. So, but this is only the beginning. And just can't wait to see what else is going to happen, y'all. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. And those who are saying you're not supposed to want to see your country fall, I want to see y'all's judgment. I want y'all to clean this mess up. That's what I want to see. And if y'all people praying against what's happening, you're praying against the will of the Most High God. God has to do a big reset. This system is so screwed up. There has to be a major reset. A major reset. And that's what he's doing. We ain't doing nothing. We sit back and we watching. But he has to do a reset. Weed in the tear. It's just, we're in that place right now. So the only thing we need to do is repent. Correct. We have to repent. Have to repent. That's the only way you can make it through it. All right, y'all. Well, I've enjoyed the conversation. If you have not subscribed, please do. Please, y'all, if y'all have having problems with getting notifications when I go live, I would say unsubscribe, resubscribe, and select notification again. I've heard that works if you're not getting the notification. Unsubscribe, resubscribe, and resubscribe to receive the notification, and you'll probably get my notifications going forward. Because I get messages later on like, "Sister, I didn't get it." Just to fix that, you might have to do that to be able to get the notifications when I'm going live. So, all right, y'all. Well, thank y'all, and yeah, this right here is key. They want a reset where they're no, that ain't how. Thank you. They do. That's what they want. A reset where they continue to have control. No, that ain't gonna work. They not gonna get that, and we both know this, sis Diana. We both know their reset. It said it's gonna be a shift of powers, and they don't want that. But all right, y'all. Well, thank y'all for joining me. I will see y'all later, and keep watching the news. We'll be out here again. Because before this week out, something else is finna break out. It's only a matter of time. They don't, yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good one.